Welcome back to my workshop and welcome back to my garage. In today's video, we're going to be going over the next steps in the finishing process on the Pango Les Paul kits that we've been working on. As a reminder, this is a sponsored video by Pango Music. They did send me the kits for the review, so I'm very thankful to them for that, so thank you very much. There's an affiliate link in the description below. Clicking on this will take you to the Pango site. It doesn't cost you anything extra to do that. It just gives me a little bit of money for the channel, and it gives you a discount on the kit. So in the last video, what we did is we went over putting the stain on the guitars, and then I shot them with sanding sealer off camera. In today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking the next steps, basically doing an initial sand on the sanding sealer, remasking some of the guitar off before we shoot clear coat. So with the sanding sealer on them, you can see that made the grain pop out just a little bit more. What we're going to be doing to start with is we're going to take the masking off of the fretboards because there will be a little ridge for the sanding sealer right where that paint edge was. So that'll let us sand the guitars. I'm going to do a 600 and then probably an 800 grit going down to sand these. I'm not taking a lot off, just kind of wanting to smooth the surface. This one's the green one, came out really nice. A couple small glue marks that came through. I'm going to try and kind of get those out a little bit, try and see what I can do as far as color matching. Maybe put a little bit of paint on the green one. The red one for sure, and thank you for the comments that you guys left during the last video. There are a couple glue marks right on the edge, and luckily enough that is right where the black is. So what I'm going to do is after I get this sanded, before I put the clear coat on, I'm going to take my airbrush and I'm going to try and feather in just a little bit of black on these spots because I'll be using a paint. It'll sit right on top versus wanting to sink down into the wood grain. The green one, I really like the way that looks, but it is kind of messy, especially as it doesn't proceed all the way around the guitar. So what I'm going to be doing with this one is I'm going to be masking off the top, and then I'm going to paint the back and the sides as well as the neck. I'm going to paint all that black, and then I'll hit it with clear coat on top of that. So let's go ahead and pull the masking tape off these. We'll go through the sanding process. I'll show you what I'm doing. So you might notice it's a little bit quieter in the shop now. During the last video, you probably heard our chicks peeping. We had 9 chicks in a brooder that we were raising to go out to start doing some chickens in the backyard. So we've actually moved those out to the coop now. So it's a little bit quieter in the garage. So what I'm going to be using to do the sanding on this, I'm going to be using Super Acelix paper. And this is more of a cloth-based paper almost. It doesn't bind up like normal sandpaper does. It comes with this nice interface pad. This one's the soft one, so it's a little bit, it contours a little bit more. There is a hard interface pad as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and lightly sand, and this is 600 grit. You can see it's coming off pretty nice. And you can hear as I sand, you can hear how quickly it goes smooth. And I'm being careful, I don't want to sand all the way through the sanding sealer, but I do want to even up the rough edges on that. I don't know if you noticed, but I was wanting kind of that widow look on this, and it really came out well once I used the cleaner on the body. The neck's a little bit, the neck binding stayed white, but the body binding has that red tint to it where the dye went through. So that came out really nice. That's exactly the look I was looking for. And I can feel this now. You can hear it. This really smoothed it up. Don't know if you can hear the difference. Hear that where it's been sanded. And that's where it's not. It's a lot rougher. I'm only going to have to use 600 grit on this. This is already down to what I need it to be. Just a little bit on the edge. So when you shoot your clear coat, and you go to do your level sand and polish after that, the areas that you really want to pay attention to are the corners and the edges of any holes, the corners of the guitar, where the binding is, or where the ends round over, depending on the type of body you have, because the finish is actually going to be the thinnest in those spots, and it is the easiest to sand through. I'll show you why I like this paper. See how much of the colors come off. I can give it a couple smacks across the towel, and it cleans right up. I've been using this one, probably about 6 guitars have been sanded with this sheet of paper alone, and it lasts a long time. It is a little expensive. You can get it on Amazon, you can get it on StuMac, but it is very good paper. Oh yeah, super smooth now. That's going to be a really nice surface for the clear coat to go down on. Now you can see I'm getting a little bit of this coloring on the binding on the neck now. And when I hit it with the acetone to clean it up, I think that's going to give the look I want. Let's go ahead and clean this one up with some naphtha, and we'll see what it looks like. Now you kind of get an idea what this top's going to look like once it gets the clear coat on it with this wet coat and with this wet coat cleaner on it. It's really going to pop. Here's the red one down. You see how quickly that went for the sanding on this. All you're really doing is just kind of smoothing that sanding sealer out. You want to not sand through it, and that's why I used a very fine grit paper. All right, so I've got this masked off, and I'm just hitting the edge of it with a little bit of, just a little brush of it, of the airbrush coming around. Just darkening up that edge a little bit. And you'll notice I'm going all the way around the edge. I'm not just sitting on that the spots that need it. That way it blends all in. And I'm just feathering that in a little bit. So as you can see, that took care of those spots. And I got that nice feathered look to it. Now this thing's going to be ready for some clear coat. Now we're going to do the same thing except with the green one. You can feel, or you can listen to it. See how, you can hear how rough that my finger is going across it. And there's that little bit right there. You can feel how smooth it is now, just by listening to the way the hand runs across it. This one has a couple spots on it that are a little bit of where the sanding sealer ran just a little bit, so that'll take a little bit more sanding, but not much. The sanding sealer, by its nature, is not a strong, hard finish, so it does sand very easily. You can see the spot right here. Let's see where the white is. See, watch when I sand it, I'll clean that off, and then when I sand it, you can see the dull spots or the white spots, and then there's a little bit here on the neck where the neck ran a little bit, got a little thick on a couple spots here, but that's going to be okay. It'll be really easy to sand out. All right, so I wanted to bring you back. I've got the green one sanded, just that initial sand after the sanding sealer. So this one's going to get black, like I said, on the back. I'm going to try and touch this spot up here with a little bit of black to see if I can kind of blend that in a little bit, just around the edge, to get a little bit in there to get rid of that spot. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and get these both masked off, the binding, so I can get the black burst done. All right, so we've got the binding masked off on the green one. We're going to go ahead and do the black burst. There we go. That got rid of that spot really well. Now I just got this spot here that I really want to get touched up, and that I'm going to play with a little bit and see what I can do and see if there's anything that I want to add to that. A little bit of binding cleanup to do, but overall that's going to come out really super nice. Then we'll see what we're going to do for this bit. All right, in preparation of getting this thing painted, like I said, I'm going to paint the back and the sides black as well as the neck. I've went ahead and masked everything off. I've masked the binding. I've masked the top, the fretboard, and the headstock, and I've masked off the control covers. So what this is going to get now is just going to get shot with gloss black. I'm just using Rust-Oleum gloss black enamel that I picked up from Walmart. So I'm going to go ahead and get this done. I'll bring you back when I'm finished painting. So here we go. The back and the sides are painted, the neck's painted, everything's black. So it's time to go ahead and peel the tape off and clean up the binding if we got any binding to clean up. And then that'll be ready to finish with the top, to get that taken care of, to get that one spot taken care of, the glue spot. And then from that, we'll be ready for clear coat. Very little cleanup on the binding is going to be required. It came out looking really good. Yeah, came out nice. A couple spots here I'm going to have to clean up with the razor blade, but that's no problem at all. Overall, the binding came out really nice. I think that looks 100% better than what it did before. Very happy with the way that turned out. That's going to look really good. So I did this off camera. There'll be another video up shortly of mine doing a repair on a dyed top, but I just wanted to show you what I did. If you remember, I had the glue spots here, here, and here. I tried a couple different things off camera to see if I could get rid of those. that didn't seem to work. So what I did is I just took a chance and hoped I wouldn't sand through the veneer. And I went ahead and sanded. And as you can see, I did get the glue spots to go away, and I didn't sand through the veneer. I took very good care. I used 220 just to remove the first little bit, and then I went to a 320 to kind of smooth it out. And then I just reapplied dye to those areas. I started off with gold, and then I blended in some turquoise on top of that, and then some green. And then I found the old rag that I had from when I did the black initially. I re-wetted that with just a neutral, and I kind of brushed that in to get that darker look on it. And then I hit it again with some turquoise and green just to blend the colors in. I didn't sand the whole top, so there was still sanding sealer in a lot of the places. So that helped, because when I wiped the dye off after I put the new dye in those places, it didn't saturate any of the areas around it. So I was able to just concentrate on those areas. And then I'll let this dry for 24 hours. I'll hit it with some steel wool again. I'll hit it with a quick spray of sanding sealer on the top just to lock those dyes in. But as you can see, that came out really nice. It was a nice repair, and the top looks really good. I'm just sorry I didn't catch it on camera for you to show you. But I will have another video up soon on my Elysium Phoenix build, if you've been following along with that. And on that one I had a scratch, which is basically the same type of repair to the finish. So take a look for that video when it comes out, and take a look and you can see just how easy it is to fix a blemish on a dyed top. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the videos here. I had really hoped to get the clear coat on for this video, but it's getting long enough as it is, just getting that prep work done. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please, if you liked the video, click like, click subscribe, follow along with the channel. It really helps me out. It'll let you keep up with what I'm doing. Also, if you'd like, leave a comment below. I do try and answer every comment that I get, so I really appreciate the feedback. And as you saw in this episode, there were a couple responses about getting rid of the glue marks, especially on the red guitar, just to shoot that with the black with the airbrush around the edge of it. So I really appreciate the feedback on that. On the next episode, we'll definitely get the clear coat done and probably start with final assembly. So thank you very much for stopping by the channel, and take care.